and welcome to the A Squared E Squared AGM Australian Journal of Environmental Education Annual Report. My name is Peter White. I'm an Associate Professor in Science and Environmental Education at Deakin University, and I'm the Editor-in-Chief for AJEE. As we get going today, I would very much like to acknowledge country and the traditional owners of the lands across Australia and pay respects to all First Nations people present here with us and our elders, their elders and ancestors. I'd also like to acknowledge the amazing AJEE editorial team. We're a very tight team of 9 and we meet regularly, monthly in fact, and in those meetings we talk about how to work well on the journal, how to improve our strategies, how to focus on our authors' needs, how to build our reviewer database, and how to produce high quality research for the journal. We also talk about things like how to build community around the journal, which is where you come in. I'll talk a little bit more about that soon. I'd also like to shout out to Jamie Davidson, our Cambridge University Press editor. And Cambridge University Press are our publishers, and they're a really important and impressive not-for-profit publishing organisation. So to name my associate editors, I'm really pleased that we have Hilary Whitehouse, Sandra Wool-Torton, Catherine Riley, who's currently living in Canada, Scott Jukes, David Roussel, Joe Ferguson, Marianne Logan, and our editorial assistant is Amrita Kamath. So we're a mostly Australian, but all academic and high-functioning team, and really pleased to bring you this report today. I also want to acknowledge the AJEE editorial board. So the board sits around the editorial executive who do all the work to manage the journal, and the board support us. If we have to make big decisions, we'll often call on the board to help us with that. They also support us with reviewing and other aspects of making the journal successful. They lend their name to give weight and support to the journal. I'd like to shout out to our 33 international, very high quality academic colleagues who form our board. You'll see some very familiar names in here. Shout out to Annette Goff and Amy Cutter-Mackenzie-Knowles, Tracy Bunder, some really wonderful Australian academics represented in here, and of course a lot more from international places. We produce this annual report and it goes to them. We hold a meeting, usually annually, and this board has been committed to support AJEE until 2025. So this is the last year of this board's commitment. We will be commissioning a new board at the start of next year. So we'll let you know more about that as it unfolds. We also represent AJEE on the socials. On our CUP, Cambridge University Press website, we share some of our A Squared E Squared socials to show that A Squared E Squared are our host organisation, but we also have a Facebook and a LinkedIn account specifically for AJEE. So if you're not following us, please do. It's a lovely way to see our new publications and hear about the community activities that we have going on. You can also, through Cambridge University Press, register to get email alerts to come into your inbox every time we publish something new. And now that we're publishing in open access and you can read everything that we put online for free, then it's a really great idea to have those inbox reminders about when something new is out. This year we've had a really great year in AJEE. We're very pleased to announce that we have been ranked in the top quartile of all academic journals reporting on education research. It's a very important thing in the world of academia to be a Q1 journal. It means a lot of people aspire to publish in our journal, and we're noticing a big increase in author interest and manuscript submissions since we've made that ranking. Something we've been aspiring to for a while. It's come earlier than we had anticipated, and we're really pleased to have made this really fantastic step in our journal's 40-year career. We are also still publishing Gold Open Access, which means you can read the new manuscripts that we publish free online. Anyone can. Of course, by being an A Squared E Squared member, you can also read our full archive, which other people can't. Other people can only read the open access, so since volume 39. So that's a really big feature of being an A Squared E Squared member, is that you have access to all of this great information. We have also increased to produce 5 issues a year, so as you can appreciate, that's a larger volume of material coming through. That's why the 9 of us in the editorial executive are working hard. We're also publishing volume 40, as I mentioned, this year, which is a huge moment for celebration. This journal is one of the oldest in the field, and it's had a wonderful trajectory and history. Some of that is represented on our Cambridge University Press site, so please jump on and have a look. This year in volume 40 we've published 2 special issues. So special issues are an important collection around a topic, and I'll introduce you to those topics in a moment. We've also introduced the idea of a special focus, which is much smaller than a special issue, but allows us to be very specific in who we invite to write around this particular area of interest. We've also hosted a biennial research symposium. In fact, we held it on the same day as the A2E2 AGM. And we also hosted an A2E2 Learning Circle. And if you're a member, you can access that recording and learn even more about AJEE and how this journal is there to contribute to your research, your practice, your environmental education practice, which hopefully also includes informing yourself and contributing to research. And we announced 3 special issue calls for volume 41, which will be our 2025 volume. So we've been very busy in a really interesting year. So the quartile ranking that we've achieved is really a response to our increase in citations. So citations are when someone's writing in the field and they make a claim and support that claim by using one of the manuscripts that AJEE has published. So that's a citation. And it's important to calculate our citation factor, impact factor using the number of citations over the number of manuscripts that we've had submitted or that we've published in the journal. So to see that that graph is going up in the right direction is really important. So if we increase our impact factor, then we can hope to stay at Q1, which is an important thing for any journal to aspire to. In this table, you can see we have a number of article types, and my key message here is that we've refined the number of article types that we've published under, and so that's why the table changes across the years. You'll also see that 2024 data isn't represented. We had a bit of a glitch at the start of 2024, and it's held our publication up. And as we get back into the flow of things, our data will start to look just fine again next year. So stay tuned to our report next year and you'll see these numbers represented there. This is another way of showcasing the numbers of articles that we're pulling in to the different categories of manuscripts. Again, noting the change that we've gone through. Acceptance rate is something that we talk about in journal publications. So we have a number of manuscripts submitted to the journal, and we only take those that make a contribution to the field, that are high quality research, and that provide our readership some great information and access to important research. So sometimes we accept quite a few, and others we go through a number of rounds of review and revisions, and then others we don't accept, and we provide some valuable feedback and hope those authors can publish elsewhere. You can see here that we take in submissions from a great number of countries. They don't all get published, but we certainly are an international journal. We've got a lot of interest in the space that we've created in AJEE. A few special features that are of particular interest to you as our A2E2 colleagues. We like to host these on our AJEE community page. So this might be something that you come to quite regularly to find out what's going on in AJEE. You'll see at the top that we've got a bit of a video from the editorial executive. We've got our socials listed, our own AJEE ones, as well as A2E2, and we have an open call for special issues. So if you've got an idea to host a special issue, you can propose it at any time. We'll take it under consideration and fit it in if we accept it. We also have a number of special issues listed on this page that we encourage everyone to write to. We've also been working on our special features or our collections. So in order to celebrate Annette Gough this year, we organised the Annette Greenall Gough collection. So I encourage you to have a look at that incredible volume of work that Annette has contributed to A Squared E Squared in her academic career. We also host specific collections like the manuscripts with strong practitioner focus. So we curate them from across all of our published manuscripts and we host them in these collections. We'll be making more of these kind of collections as we go forward. We also host our special issues as collections. So you can see 2 of them represented here, and in fact now there are another 2, and I'll tell you why in a moment. On the same day as A Squared E Squared AGM was held, we also held our biennial AJEE Research Symposium. This was a fantastic morning from 9:30 to 12:30, where we had over 60 people from around the world register to attend. And we had a really great conversation where we launched 2 special issues in volume 40. Now, it's a biennial research symposium because in the other year, we support A Squared E Squared to host the research symposium that aligns with the conference. So the 2 special issues that we launched were these 2, so Relational Ontologies and Multi-Species Worlds, Transdisciplinary Possibilities for Environmental Education. We had very wonderful guest editors, Catherine Riley, Scott Jukes, and Paulina Rauchio. We've also launched another special issue called Power and Politics, Re-engaging Environmental Education Research within Critical Environmental Politics. The guest editors were Paul Hart and myself. So some information on usage. This is always really important to those in the journal world. We want to know that the work that we're doing is important to the field and useful to the field. So we measure things like downloads, how many people are downloading the manuscripts that we publish and what time of year do they download them, and we hope that those downloads then turn into citations. So we look at the particular volume that people can download manuscripts from. We also look at the countries that they're from, and as I mentioned, the time of the year. So this data is interesting and helps us make some decisions about how we go forward with our publishing. We also measure the journals that receive the most downloads, and you can see here that there are a large number of, or here we've selected the top 10 articles, and it's always great to see these manuscripts change, so it fluctuates a lot, and a shout out to the authors of these manuscripts. They should feel very proud of themselves for publishing work that people want to read. We also have a list of the articles that are most cited, and this is quite an important achievement. And you'll see that the citations of the 2 most cited manuscripts, I should say, are 12. So 12 other authors have cited these manuscripts in support of arguments that they've been making over a measured period of time. And so that citation factor is important in academic publishing. To give you a sense of where we're going in the future, we'll have a new editorial board commissioned next year. We're not planning any changes to the editorial executive. As I said, we're high functioning, we're a great team. I love working with every one of them. We are looking for more special issues to commission. So we're going to aspire to hosting 3 special issues each volume, so each year. Out of our 5 issues, 3 of those might be special issues. We will, of course, look forward to supporting the A Squared E Squared Research Symposium in 2025, which will be online. We'll maintain our social media presence and, of course, our CUP website, where we're using those tools to build our AJEE community. And in volume 41, we have some great things coming along. Our first issue will be a special issue in Wilding Pedagogies, theorising, practising and imagining towards a changing, decolonising and reconciling world. Our guest editors there, Michael Paulson, Linda Wilhelmsen, Sean Blenkinsop, Bob Jickling and Amy Cutter-Mackenzie-Knowles. We also have another special issue that's just wrapping up right now, or just the proposals are coming in right now. It's a special issue on climate fiction or cli-fi of the Anthropocene. And the guest editors there are Susan Oliver, Joe Ferguson, Cassandra Tytler, and myself. And then we have one more special issue coming through in issue 5, and that is called Beyond the Meta Crisis, Educating for a World to Come. And the guest editors there are Ruth Irwin and Thomas Evereth. And thanks very much to all of those guest editors. It's quite a big job being a guest editor for a special issue. You get to manage the proposals as they come in and then review them and accept them. And those accepted, then the authors write their manuscripts. The manuscripts are submitted. They go through a review process, and then you get to put the issue together. So there's often an editorial and a curation or an ordering of the manuscripts, and then hopefully a celebration of that great work as we hosted at the Research Symposium. Now, a very special announcement. We have some awards that come from AJEE, and I'm very pleased to announce these. We like to offer a Reviewer Excellence and Appreciation Award, and this year it goes to Yin Paradies, who is a professor in education and a chair of race relations at Deakin University. Yin is a fantastic reviewer, very generous of his time. He gets his reviews in really quickly, and they're always really concise and precise and very helpful to authors, which is just what we need. We have an Author Excellence Award, and this year that has gone to Professor Sandra Woolf-Orton, who not only contributes on the editorial executive, but also as an author of the journal. And we're really pleased to celebrate Sandra and her contribution to the field. We have a Manuscript Excellence Award, and this year this award is shared between 2 manuscripts. And you know the ones they are, because they're the ones who received the highest citations in the list that we presented earlier. So really pleased to shout out to the authors of Regeneration Time, Ancient Wisdom for Planetary Wellbeing, Anne Polina, Sandra Woolf-Orton, Mindy Blaze, Katrina Lasagneur, Pierre Horowitz, me, Peter White, and Stephen Muki. The second manuscript is called School Strikers Enacting Politics for Climate Justice, Daring to Think Differently About Education. And the authors are Peter White, Joseph Ferguson, Neve O'Connor-Smith, and Harriet O'Shea Kerr. And those last 2 names were young people who co-authored that manuscript. So congratulations to everyone for your awards. I'll be writing to you soon. And thank you to Cambridge University Press, who have generously donated £50 worth of books from Cambridge University Press to every single person who received an award, which is an incredible contribution. And we thank them very much for being fabulous publishers. We really enjoy working with Cambridge University Press and are really pleased that our relationship has been so fruitful for AJEE. Thank you very much for listening to this. If you've got any questions about AJEE, please reach out. I'm more than happy to hear from you. Look forward to publishing work or to thinking about how some of our special issues create opportunities for our practitioners to publish in the very difficult academic world. And yes, we're really excited to be representing A²E² in our AJEE adventure. Thank you and see you soon.